Imagine posting a meme on like a random Tuesday. Just a dumb joke about market volatility.
Right, a standard crypto post.
Yeah, exactly. And then by Friday, the engagement on that single piece of content has literally paid your rent for the month.
Oh, wow.
And not in some, opaque creator fund points either, but in actual liquid assets sitting right there in your personal wallet. Today is May 3, 2026, and we are looking at a platform that is aggressively trying to make that exact scenario a reality.
It sounds like a utopian pitch. I mean, or maybe a dystopian one, depending on your perspective. But it is fundamentally altering how we define user engagement.
It really is. And the roadmap for this comes from a post published literally just this morning. We are diving into an article from nordycrypto.com titled Yocial.com, Powering the Crypto Meme Revolution.
Fresh off the press.
Yeah. And I have to point out the incredible tonal whiplash of this source material. They do a remarkably thorough job of breaking down incredibly complex Web3 architecture.
Meaning, the next generation of the internet where users actually own pieces of the network.
Right, exactly. But they do all of this while happily selling a $15, never panic, always cool, Space Cat, heat change coffee mug.
Well, you need a strong beverage container to survive the stress of decentralized finance.
You really do. They also prominently feature a $43 always HODL tank top. And for anyone not deep in the crypto trenches, HOBL is an old typo-turned battle cry. Hold on for dear life. Meaning you don't sell your assets during a market crash.
The juxtaposition there is just fantastic.
It's amazing. But setting the merch aside, the mission for our deep dive today is pretty ambitious. We're going to unpack whether Yocial.com can genuinely solve the structural flaws of big tech by merging internet culture, community, and verifiable financial ownership.
It's a tall order.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Think of legacy social media platforms like an arcade. You go in, you play the games, you get a high score, and, maybe you win enough paper tickets to get a plastic spider at the prize counter.
Right, but the arcade owner keeps all the actual money.
Exactly. The owner keeps the cash. Today, we're looking at a blueprint for an arcade where hitting a high score automatically grants you equity in the building itself.
And the stakes here go far beyond just finding a decentralized alternative to Twitter or Instagram. We are examining a massive pivot toward SocialFi.
Social finance.
Exactly, social finance. It is the concept of building a sovereign digital economy where the boundaries between a social network and a financial market are entirely erased.
So to understand the mechanics of Yocial, we can't just look at the features they offer. We really have to examine the specific friction points they're reacting against.
The frustrations.
Right. The article makes it clear this project was born out of a profound frustration with the Web 2 status quo.
The origin story of Yocial really centers on solving two deeply ingrained systemic issues. First, there is the threat of censorship.
Which is huge.
It is. It's the constant looming anxiety creators have about shadow bans, algorithmic demotion, or arbitrary deplatforming without any due process. And the second issue is the blatant lack of economic participation for the everyday user.
Let's pull on that second thread. So the legacy business model is entirely extractive. You get to use the app for free, quote unquote. But the reality is that your attention, your behavioral data, and your content are all packaged and auctioned off to advertisers.
Right.
The platform scales into $1 trillion valuation,
Yeah.
and the user gets absolutely nothing but a notification badge.
Which naturally leads to the evolution of Yocial's core thesis. They realized early on that if you want to build a truly decentralized hub that can compete with the tech giants, you cannot just replicate their features on a blockchain.
You need a hook.
Right. You have to speak the native language of the internet.
Yeah.
And in the modern digital economy, particularly in crypto, that language is the meme.
The source refers to this as the social meme layer. Yocial pivoted heavily to create a mobile-first, wallet-integrated ecosystem that is specifically optimized for meme culture.
Because memes act as highly compressed packets of financial information. I mean, a single image of a dog with a hat can communicate market sentiment, community strength, and bullish momentum far faster than a 40-page technical white paper.
Oh, easily.
By centering the platform around this behavior, Yocial aligns with how digital natives already interact.
Okay, I understand the cultural argument, but I do have a major concern here.
Yeah.
It is very easy to throw around terms like uncensored and decentralized.
Sure.
But if you build a completely unfiltered, financially incentivized meme platform, aren't you just engineering a chaotic echo chamber? We have seen what happens when platforms remove moderation guardrails. They just drown in spam.
Yeah, it gets messy.
So how does a SocialFi model prevent the system from completely degrading into noise?
What's fascinating here is that Yocial doesn't rely on heavy-handed corporate moderation to solve that chaos.
Right.
It relies on economic physics.
Economic physics.
Right. The platform treats engagement and ownership as the exact same thing, meaning user behavior is regulated by financial incentives.
Meaning, if you provide high signal value, the community enriches you. But if you flood the timeline with bot-generated garbage, there is a literal cost to that behavior.
Exactly. And that economic alignment is crucial. If your engagement directly dictates your ownership stake in the network, you are financially incentivized to maintain the quality of that network.
Because it's your money on the line.
Yes, shouting into the void or spamming malicious links actively harms the value of the ecosystem you are invested in. You aren't just a user, you are a shareholder protecting your own investment.
But engineering that kind of alignment requires a rock-solid accounting system. If we are turning attention into ownership, there has to be a mechanism that tracks, verifies, and distributes that value seamlessly.
The tokens.
Right, let's look at the engine powering this entire economy. The native currency, the meme-linked token, or MK.
The MK token is the heartbeat of the social meme layer. The article is very clear that this is not meant to be a purely speculative asset that you buy and just, stare at on a chart. It functions as the universal key to interact with the platform.
Let's break down the utility of that key, starting with what the article calls token-gated communities. By holding a certain amount of MK in your linked wallet, you unlock access to supergroups.
And these supergroups represent a major structural shift. In traditional finance and even in legacy tech, there's a massive wall separating retail users from the insiders. Everyday people don't get to casually chat with venture capitalists or protocol founders.
No, not at all.
Yocial uses the token to tear that wall down. These supergroups are high-signal, exclusive hubs where long-term holders can collaborate directly with top-tier influencers, developers, and project leaders.
It effectively democratizes the insider alpha. If you hold the required tokens, you are mathematically verified as having skin in the game, and therefore you get a seat at the table for the next big launch.
It creates a meritocracy based on verifiable commitment. But the utility of the MK token extends far beyond just gaining access to VIP rooms. The second major mechanism detailed in the source is the system of on-chain rewards.
Okay.
This is how the network actually pays you for your attention and effort.
Let's define on-chain quickly for the listener. This doesn't mean Yocial is keeping a spreadsheet of points on a private server somewhere that they can alter whenever they want.
No, definitely not.
On-chain means the payouts are executed automatically and transparently by smart contracts on a public blockchain.
Yeah.
It is mathematically guaranteed.
Right. And the traditional like button on a Web 2 app is basically a psychological trick. You spend hours crafting a piece of content, goes viral, millions of people see it, and the platform gets a surge in ad revenue.
And what do you get?
Your reward is a little dopamine hit from a digital counter. Yocial replaces that empty engagement with tangible distribution. Users earn MK for creating viral content, driving organic growth, or participating in what the community calls raids.
Raids.
Yeah, coordinated social media campaigns to boost visibility.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Let's go back to the idea of turning social clout into a dividend. Imagine your Reddit karma instantly converting into a liquid asset.
It's wild to think about.
Because your Yocial profile is directly connected to your crypto wallet, there is zero friction. You earn MK for a viral post, and you can instantly turn around and spend that token to tip your favorite creator directly.
There are no third-party payment processors taking a 30% cut, and there are no minimum payout thresholds that you have to wait 90 days to clear. It is an instant, peer-to-peer economic transfer.
The source also highlights how this wallet integration creates instant trust verification. If an influencer is telling you to buy a specific asset, you can look at their profile and see exactly what they hold.
You can see if they're actually invested.
Exactly. You also mentioned verifiable commitment earlier. The platform offers custom profile badges for users who stake their MK long-term. And staking just means you agree to lock up your tokens for a set period, which provides stability to the network.
The community calls this having diamond hands, which means refusing to sell despite market volatility. Yocial turns that cultural meme into a literal software mechanic, rewarding those users with higher visibility and better yields. And for you, listening to this, whether you are a hardcore trader or someone who just scrolls memes on your lunch break, this matters because it fundamentally shifts the power dynamic.
Hmm.
Your time and attention suddenly have a clear, enforceable price tag.
But building a sovereign, decentralized economy presents a massive logistical problem. A system like this is entirely dependent on network effects. You need a massive, hyper-engaged user base for the tokenomics to actually function.
Oh, absolutely.
It requires a leader who understands human psychology just as much as they understand smart contracts.
And the architect pulling all of these threads together is the founder, Pablo Crow.
His resume is particularly fascinating because he does not fit the mold of a traditional Stanford-educated Silicon Valley CEO.
No, not at all. He comes from the trenches of decentralized communities. He rose to prominence as a legendary community leader for a project called Volt Inu, or VOLT. In the crypto space, leading a meme coin community through brutal market cycles is basically a masterclass in behavioral economics. You are managing thousands of highly emotional people who have real money on the line.
He proved he could maintain unity and momentum when a chart is flashing red. But what stands out in this article is his aggressive push to bridge the gap between that hardcore niche crypto world and the broader general public.
Right.
He isn't an anonymous developer hiding behind a cartoon avatar on Discord. He is taking this narrative mainstream.
The article explicitly details his efforts to advocate for decentralized finance and meme utility on national television. It mentions his appearances on Newsmax TV's New to the Street.
And just to be entirely clear for our listeners, we are simply reporting what is in the source material today.
Right, exactly. We aren't endorsing this network or taking any political stances whatsoever.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
The analytical takeaway here is the strategy itself. Bringing Web3 concepts and a project like Yocial onto a traditional broadcast television network is a deliberate tactic to capture an audience that has never interacted with a crypto wallet before.
He is operating as a SocialFi specialist. His goal is to ensure the platform remains a profitable, expanding ecosystem rather than just an insular club for crypto veterans.
I see the strategic value of mainstream outreach, but I have to play devil's advocate here. Being a phenomenal hype man and managing the psychology of a token community is one thing,
Sure.
but Yocial is attempting to build a sovereign tech stack wallets, social feeds, AI algorithms that can seamlessly rival the user experience of a multi-billion-dollar legacy platform. Does managing a community actually translate to leading a massive operational tech scale-up?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, in the Web3 space, community is the actual infrastructure. You can write the most elegant, flawless code in the world, but if you launch it to an empty room, the protocol dies on day one.
That makes sense.
The hardest part of launching any network is the cold start problem.
Getting the first 100,000 people to care.
Exactly. Crow brings a built-in, fiercely loyal demographic. In crypto, they refer to the high-risk, hyperactive veterans as degens.
Right, the degens.
By uniting that specific energy with a user-friendly platform, he bridges the gap. The underlying philosophy here is that the technology must serve the community's needs, rather than forcing a community to adapt to rigid corporate technology.
That transition from a niche beta test to a mainstream powerhouse requires a serious roadmap. If we look at where Yocial is headed, the article breaks down the immediate technical milestones necessary to sustain this momentum.
And the defining moment everyone is tracking is the full mobile launch, which is officially slated for July 2026.
A mobile-first approach is non-negotiable if they want mass adoption, but the specific tech they are packing into this rollout is what caught my eye. The roadmap includes the heavy integration of AI-enhanced discovery algorithms.
The integration of AI is not just a buzzword here, it is a vital security feature. The crypto market is notoriously noisy and, frankly, dangerous.
It really is.
Thousands of tokens launch daily, and a significant portion of them are outright scams or rug pulls designed to steal liquidity.
So how does the AI actually filter through that? If the platform is decentralized, how do you suppress the noise without acting like a centralized censor?
Well, the AI analyzes the economic weight of the engagement. Instead of just looking at raw, like counts, which are, easily manipulated by bot farms, The algorithm cross-references engagement with the underlying blockchain data.
Okay, so checking the receipts.
Exactly. If a post gets 10,000 likes, but none of those interacting wallets hold any MK token or have any on-chain history, the AI flags it as artificial noise and suppresses its visibility. It surfaces content backed by verifiable economic stake.
It filters for actual skin in the game, protecting the user from Sybil attacks, where someone creates thousands of fake accounts to manipulate the feed.
Percent.
But beyond security, there is an overarching economic question we have to address. If the platform is constantly paying out MK tokens to users for posting memes and generating engagement, where does the actual money come from?
The million-dollar question.
It can't just be printed out of thin air indefinitely, or the token value will collapse from inflation.
This is the make-or-break mechanism for any SocialFi project, and it comes down to creating external liquidity and token sinks. The 2026 roadmap highlights actual revenue generation models, specifically premium verifications and decentralized ad models.
Let's walk through how that decentralized ad model actually functions. If a brand or a crypto protocol wants to run a marketing campaign on Yocial to reach this highly targeted audience, they can't just pay with a corporate credit card.
No, they have to buy the MK token on the open market. They purchase the token, driving demand, and then they deposit that MK into a smart contract to fund their ad campaign.
And then what happens?
As users interact with those ads or generate the attention the advertiser is seeking, the smart contract automatically distributes that purchased MK directly to the users.
The advertisers provide the external liquidity that funds the creator payouts.
Yeah.
It creates a closed-loop economy.
Exactly.
Add in premium verification fees, where users burn or lock up tokens to access advanced features, and you create constant buy pressure that offsets the rewards being distributed.
And by the time the July 2026 mobile launch occurs, the goal is for this to be an entirely self-sustaining economic engine.
So what does this all mean when you step back and look at the wallet integrations? The AI filtering bots based on token holdings, well, not bots, filtering out the bots, and the decentralized ad model fueling the payouts.
Right.
Yocial is not trying to build a better Twitter. They are attempting to build an entirely new jurisdictional layer for the internet. A sovereign economy where the technology protects you from scams, mathematically prevents shadow bans, and ensures you capture the financial value of your own attention.
It represents a maturation of the space. For a very long time, meme coins and crypto social projects were purely speculative. You bought a token hoping the price would go up based on hype.
Just gambling, basically.
Yeah. But Yocial is giving users a tangible reason to stay for the technology. They are holding a piece of the infrastructure that powers their daily social interactions.
It's a remarkable pivot. We've explored the deep frustrations with legacy social media that catalyzed the birth of the social meme layer. We've analyzed how the MK token utilizes smart contracts and supergroups to turn human attention into verifiable on-chain equity.
The whole ecosystem.
And we've broken down how Pablo Crow is merging high-level community psychology with a robust AI and ad revenue roadmap aimed at that massive July 2026 mobile launch.
This raises an important question. We are looking at the ultimate financialization of internet culture. If every single interaction, every passing joke, and every meme posted becomes economically incentivized through on-chain rewards, how does that alter the fundamental nature of how we connect online?
That's a great point.
When our casual social interactions are transformed into literal financial transactions, do we risk losing the organic, accidental magic that made internet culture so vibrant in the first place? Or, conversely, are we simply, finally, being compensated for the immense value we have always provided to these networks?
That is the exact tension at the heart of this entire movement, and it's the perfect thought to leave you with. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Keep questioning the mechanics of the platforms you scroll through every day. Keep digging into the economic systems built around your attention. And remember, you don't have to settle for living in a rented digital apartment when the blueprint to own the house is actively being written.